Hello, good evening to you all. Today is our day 2 of this basics computer skills training. Like I said, this training is going to hold for about 3 months. That is Sunday to Thursday for I say 3 months, 3 weeks. That is Sunday to Thursday for 3 weeks. And today is our day 2. Yesterday we did we started the training, and it's our day 1. So like always, we start with our outlines. These are the 2 outlines what we are going to cover for today. We'll have a recap on what we did yesterday, which I believe each and every one of you watch it and you saw what we did yesterday. But of course, we will have a recap on it. And secondly, we'll talk about computer memory today. We'll talk about that. You'll know about computer memory, how computer memory works, what are computer memory. I will explain that to you, and today you will understand that. We'll also talk about turn off, that is to turn off, hibernate, sleep, restart. We'll talk about that. Yes, of course, I will show you how to do that, but I'll tell you why you need to do that in a computer. And we'll talk about cursor, mouse, and touchpad. Also, today we'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about copy, cut, and paste. Everybody knows about copy and paste in computer. And of course, we'll discuss about that today. And we'll talk about folder. We'll talk about folder today. We'll discuss about folder and things you need to know about folder. And lastly, we'll have a Q&A, that is question and answer, and we'll have a conclusion and call it a day. So these are our outlines, what we are going to cover, inshallah, today. So let's start with one, that is a recap on what we did yesterday. If you can recall, yesterday we discussed about what is computer, about the training entailed, that what we discussed about first. And later on, we move ahead and talk about what is computer. We discuss about what is computer, which each and every one of you bring his understanding or his definition about computer. And of course, all what you said are kind of correct. All what you said are correct, and I take you through all the features that computer needs to have. That is to be electronic, to be a device, to have accept data, process input, output, and that we discussed that yesterday with you. And we talk about how computer works, of course, what made up of a computer. We discuss about the components, that is the hardware and the software. We talk about the types of software, which I told you we have the system software and we have the application software. I discussed about that yesterday also. And we talk about input and output devices, which of course we talk about input and output, and even the hybrid devices. We discussed about the hybrid devices yesterday, which we saw what are the hybrid devices. And we have a question and answer yesterday. Then we draw the curtain. So this is a brief recap on what we did yesterday. If I say something that maybe you didn't understand it or you didn't know we discussed it yesterday, please watch the video. I dropped the link in the group. You can watch the video, you see what we discussed, and you learn from there. Then we continue. So this is a recap on what we did yesterday. So for today, like I said, we are going to discuss about computer memory. That's what we are going to discuss about, the computer memory. This picture that you are seeing is a picture of data room. That's where big companies are storing our data. But today we are going to talk about the memory of computer. Like I told you yesterday, computer being it an electronic and being it a device, it always needs data. It always needs data. So let's talk about the memory of computer. How computer retain the data given to it. What are the types of memory computer have? We all know the type of memories. I believe if I said them, you know them. We have the random access memory and we have the read-only memory. I believe we all know that. We have that random access, that is the RAM, and we have the ROM. These are the memory of computer that we have. So I'll discuss about them. The RAM is a temporary storage of computer. It's just whenever you hear RAM, it's a temporary storage of a computer. What RAM did is that whenever you run an application, on a computer, or you run a software on a computer, the memory that help you in running such software, that's the random access memory. That's what RAM, that where RAM operate. It only store a temporary data of computer. Once you close the application, then the data is gone. Then the system will no longer have access to that data. That's the end of the data. So it's only store a data that is in used on a computer. That's the only thing that random access memory did. So whenever you play a video, you play a VLC, that why when you open too much files on your laptop, it will start what? Getting slower, slower, slower. It's due to the random access memory. And that's why sometimes you will say your computer is too slow. It has to do with your random access memory, because that what help the processor of a computer to work very fast. So if your memory is very small, that is the RAM that you have is very a small RAM. Definitely, if you open files that are bigger than your RAM, your computer will start moving, operating slower, slower, and slower. So we have normally the system that we have is before there are systems that come with 1 gig RAM, system that come with 2 gig RAM. Then now we have system with 4 gig RAM, 8 gig RAM, 16 gig RAM, 32 gig RAM, 64 gig RAM. I even saw someone with about 100 gig, 1 terabyte, and whatever. If you have enough RAM on your computer, that means you can open as much application as you want, and your computer will not be slow. So if you want your computer to operate very fast, you need to have a bigger RAM on your computer. If we are not talking about I will come to the hard disks. We are talking about the RAM. So whenever you open a software, for example, you open a Photoshop, or maybe you open any application, maybe you open a Chrome browser, or you open a Firefox, whatever you open, that data that help you to work with that application, the data of the application will be stored under random access memory. That's the work of RAM. So it's a temporary memory. Once you close it, that way when you open too much file, when you close them all, then your computer will start moving, working faster, faster, faster. That means you have you just give it a space for it to take a breath. So this is what random access memory is. Then we have the ROM, that's the permanent storage of a computer. That's what we have. This ROM that you are seeing, all of you know about when we say hard disk drive. That is, we have hard disks. All of you know about hard disks. So, and we also have SDD. We also have SDD. SDD. Please, what's the full meaning of SDD? What's the full meaning of SDD storage? I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, it's okay. The solid state drive, that's the SDD, is even faster nowadays than HDD, even though it has its inflows and outflows and others. So these are the permanent storage of computer. When you want to store a data permanently on your laptop or on any computer, you store it on this drive, that is SDD or HDD. You will all hear about them. So we have the SDD, we have the HDD. All of them are permanent storage. When you store your file in computer, your file will stay there forever. But your file, even if it's there, nothing will happen to it. It will remain there. But once you open it, the data to that file, for the file to operate, it will go directly to what? To random access memory. So that's how it is. So we have the permanent storage, and we also have the temporary storage. And for the storage, we have a lot of different storage types that we have of computers. You know, like I told you yesterday, we have the bit, we have the byte, we have the kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, exabyte, zettabyte. All these are the types of the storage that we have. That is, I mean, the zettabyte is the highest. which that's where we are as it is now in the world. But we have all these thousands of each is what will give you the other one. That is thousand of megabyte will give you gigabyte, thousand of gigabyte will give you terabyte, thousand of terabyte will give you petabyte, and the thousand of petabyte will give you exabyte, thousand of exabyte will give you zettabyte, and like this. So these are the different storage of computer that we have, and all of these that I mentioned are permanent uh, storage that we have. So this is about the storage of a computer, and this is how computer operates. So whenever you hear RAM, whenever you hear ROM, I believe from today you understand how they operate and you understand how they work in a computer. So let's move forward. I think we did justice to this. So we're going to talk about the turn up, that is the hibernate, the sleep, and the restart. What I'm going to talk about is why you need to turn off your computer. You see, let me say this. I don't want to, sometimes you see, normally we don't use to turn off computer. Most of the people, especially when you are working, you will not turn off your computer and this and that. But it's a good practice when you are done with whatever you are doing, close everything and shut down your computer. That would save your battery life. It will just last longer. So I believed it's a very good practice for you to do that. And you switch up your computer whenever you put it in hibernate or sleep or restart, then your battery will still keep working. And believe me, it might affect, sometimes it affects it, not even sometimes, it affects the battery life. Definitely, if you are used to put your computer always in sleep or something like that. So, but it's a good practice. If you are done with whatever you are doing, you are done with the work, shut it down. Just shut your computer down. When you shut it down, then you are good. Then when you come back, you on it. But if you know you are just coming back in time, maybe you're going to pray and come back, or you take a break and come back, then you don't need to shut it down. And put your computer on a hibernate and sleep. So let me just say this. Sleep is a short-time break that you give to computer, while hibernate is a deep sleep that you put your computer into. You didn't shut it down. If the computer is on hibernate, you didn't shut it down, but it looks like you shut it down. But the computer, you didn't shut it down. It wasn't shut down. For example, if you put your computer in hibernate, everything will turn off. You can close it and everything. But once you open it and you press on power, it will come back to where you stopped and where you left it. So hibernate is like a deep sleep that you put a computer, while sleep is a short time. I can just call it short time break that you put computer into. That is when you close it, it will go to sleep. You can close it, but once you open it or you press a key, it will just come back from the sleep and it will keep working. The reason why I'm talking about all this is because you need to think why you need to do all this. Like I said, if you are to take a break, maybe in a working environment, you are just to go and pray and come back to keep work, to continue your work. Don't shut your computer down. Please don't. So that is a practice. I saw lots of people doing that. It's just a best practice. Take note on that when you need to do that. Or maybe you are done with the work, you want to go back to home and continue your work. You are closed for the office. Maybe immediately you go back to work, you will continue where you stop. You just put it in what? In hibernate and carry your laptop or whatever and go home. But if you know you are done for the day till tomorrow, just shut it down and continue what you are doing. And if you know you are just taking a just quick break and come back, just put it in sleep. When you come back, you touch it and you continue whatever you want to do. So let's just take okay, why you need to restart a computer. There are many reasons that will make you to restart your computer. One of which is maybe when your computer is too slow and you want to restart it to make it fresh. Then of course you can restart the computer, then you start afresh. That's one thing about restarting of computer. And sometimes you just need to restart it because there are when your laptop did auto update, there are certain softwares that that have been updated on your computer. Of course, you need to restart the computer for the update to take effect in the computer, because if you didn't restart the computer, then the update will not take effect in the computer. So you need to restart it also so that everything will work fine. So these are the also some things that you need to restart a computer. Okay, so I think we can take I will just show you how. Let's do a practical, but I will just show you. I'm not turning or restarting my computer, but I will just show you where to do that. Yeah, you will see it. But take note, some laptop you will not see hibernate, you will only see sleep. While some laptop you will see hibernate, you will see sleep, you will see turn up, and you will see restart. So don't worry about that. If you didn't see hibernate, put it on sleep. If you didn't see sleep, then you put it on hibernate. That's what it did on some laptops. So let me just remove this. Let me remove this. Let me come here. I think, okay, so this is it I'm using. I'm sorry, I believe you can all see my screen. So I'm sorry, this is what I have here is my this thing. So as you can see, if you click on this, I'm using Windows 11. I'm sorry, if you click on this here, just click this power. On any computer, you will see this power. Click on the power. So you will see it here, or you click on window key, and yeah, I will show you window key when we are talking about keyboard. But when you click on power, you will see this we have sleep, we have shutdown, and we have a restart. So when anyone you put your computer on, it will just do it for you. So I'm not going to put it on sleep, because if I did that, everything will be shut down. So let's go back and continue what the presentation. Okay, so now the next thing we are going to discuss is we're going to talk about this. Okay, we are going to talk about the cursor, the mouse, and the touchpad. So please just look at these pictures that I just shown to you. Okay, this one that you are seeing is the mouse. These are the mouse that we have, and all these features of mouse, I just show you three of them. As you can see, this is for Windows and this is for Mac OS. I've told you we have different operating system. We have for Windows, we have for Mac OS, we have for other Ubuntu that and other operating system that we have. So these are the different types of mouse, and as we are doing it, I will keep showing you the how mouse works, how cursor works in a computer. You see, when you see it like this, you see this is cursor, the one that I'm working, the one I'm just shaking. You are seeing something shaking on my screen. That's the cursor. So if you see it like this, it's still a map. The cursor, that's how it is by default, and also this is how it is on a Mac OS by default. You see, this is the cursor. But whenever you saw your cursor turn to hand like this, these two hands, it means you hover over a link. That means it's a link that you are about to click. So when it is a link, it will turn to what? To this hand that you are seeing. And also another thing, when it is a text, this is how cursor turn into when you are about to click on a text. This is how it turns into. So you see in a Mac OS, it will turn to this. On Windows, it will turn to this. These are different things that cursor did. And don't worry, as we are working, I'll show you other things, because there are different features of mouse, especially when you are working with Excel. There are different features of mouse there, and other softwares. There are different features that mouse operate. But these are the main that you need to understand. We have the text, the link, and the default mouse, the default cursor. This is, so this is how it is, and that's about the cursor. So let's talk about the mouse. So you see, we have a mouse and we have a touchpad. Mouse is what I'm using. You see, this is the mouse. Okay, this is the mouse. As you can see, this picture is the mouse. So in mouse, we have this, we have different buttons in mouse, as you can see. So we have the left click, we have the right click, we have the scroll. That's what we have in the mouse. So all of them have their own uh, feature and works. And in touchpad, when you hear touchpad, this is what we have on laptop. We have touchpad on a laptop. That's what we have. We call it touchpad, not mouse. And also we use it to navigate with the cursor. So we use it to click, to go over the cursor and do whatever we want to do with the touchpad. This is the touchpad. And on the touchpad, we have the left click, we have the right click. I want to say something about computer. Whatever you hear about on a computer or a name in computer, translate it in whatever language you want to translate it. That's what it means normally on a computer. So that's why they call it desktop. It's because they put it on top of desk. Laptop is what they put it on top. Laptop. All that are all the technological gadgets are. handset. All that how you will keep hearing the names. So when you hear this touchpad, that's what touchpad is. When you hear left click, it means left click. That is the one that is on your left hand side. When you hear right click, done on your right hand side. So this is what we have. So this one is the left click and this one is the right click. Also on a mouse, when you put the mouse and it looks direct to the computer, you just put it there. So the left click is the one that you touch with your pointer finger, and the right click is the one that you touch with your index. Okay, the one with your index and the other with your pointer finger. So this is how it is. So that's how touchpad and mouse operate on a computer. So this is it, and please take note on this: left click and right click, and the uh, touchpad that we talk about, and the scroll. So let's move to the next thing we are going to talk about, which is copy and paste. So we have copy, we have cut, and we have paste. We all know all this. I'm just giving you, talking about them so that you know how it works. We'll have a practical on this when we discuss about folder. I will do all the practical of copy, cut, and paste. Copy is when you want to duplicate a file. Cut is when you want to move a file. Paste is when you want to drop a file. So just have this at the back of your mind. Whenever you hear copy is duplicating, when you hear cut is moving, and when you hear paste is what? Dropping. That's all. And I believe when you understand this, we can move. Everything is fine for us here. So the next thing is folder. So for the folder in a computer, as you can see, we have different folders on a computer. We have different folders, and we have different ways to create folder. That's what folder is all about. So now we are going to take a practical on how to create a folder, how to rename a folder, how to move a folder, copy a folder, delete a folder, recover a folder. All that we are going to discuss that today. That's the practical that we are going to have at least today. So let's do that. Let's see how to do it, how to create a folder. And one thing why I bring this folder topic here is because when you are to work in organization, sometimes they will ask you about folder arrangement. How are you going to arrange their files? So you need to learn how to arrange files. All this we are going to talk about in folder has to do with even how to save a file, rename a file, arrange it, put it in a separate folder, put it in a folder where it belongs. That's what you need to learn, and that's what we're going to have a practical on now. So please, let's have the practical. I'll just create the folder and we'll do all the copy and paste and cut using this practical right away. So let's do it now and see. Okay, I will share my screen. I'm sorry. Okay, so here it is. As you can see, this is my screen. All these are my files on my laptop. Don't get scared don't worry about the files. If you want to create a folder, first of all, just hover an empty space. Just empty space. I want to start creating the folder from the desktop. Just go to empty space on your computer. Don't go inside any folder or any file. Just go at the empty space. As you can see my screen, just right click. Now I discuss about left and right click. I talk about that. I told you we have left click. That is the one on your left hand side. We have right click, the one on your right hand side. So you right click, just right click. When you right click, I'm sorry, you will see new. I think every operating, because like I told you, I'm using Windows 11. So if you are using it, whatever you are using, you will see new. So when you click on new, you will see folder. Just click on folder. That's how you create a folder. So whenever you click on that folder, it will come as a new folder for you like this. That is, it will just rename itself to new folder, unless maybe you have a folder with the same name, but if you don't, it will just be like this as a new folder. So whenever something is in blue on a computer like this, you can just delete it, or you can start writing on it, or you can do whatever to delete it, to click backspace on your computer, or you can just click on it. But if you click outside of the folder, the name will remain new folder, so you can come back on top of the folder. Don't just click on it, just come over on the folder on top of it and right click on it. Now when you right click on it, you will see rename. Those of you that are using 2007, Windows 7, Windows 8, 10, you will see what you are going to see rename under. So for me, this is my rename. I'm sorry, this is my rename. I didn't foresee this because I'm using different Windows with different. I know some of you will be using Windows 7, some Windows 8, some Windows 10 or 8.1. But rename is rename. You will see rename. So when you click on rename, you can name the folder. So I can call it basics, computer skills. So this is the name that I will give the folder, that is basics computer skills. So when you rename it, you can press enter on your keyboard, or you can just click somewhere outside the folder and it will save itself as the name you give it to it. So you can double click now and open the folder. So now I open the folder. This is the folder. I have empty folder. There is nothing in it. So I can create another one. So I can right click the same procedure. Then I can call this one folder 1. So I will click enter. I name it. If I want to rename it, I can right click and click on rename. So like this, I will click this rename. Then I can call it folder 1 like this. Then I'll rename it as folder 1. So that's one thing that you need to know about this. So I can click another, I create another folder. Let's do the copy and paste. So I can do this and say, okay, folder 1-1. That is, this folder is supposed to be inside folder 1. For example, then I will create another one. Sorry, I just want to show you something. I'll create another one. I'll call it folder 2-2. All this, don't worry about this. So now, if I want to duplicate this folder, I don't want to, I just want to keep editing the 2 or 3 and whatever. I'll just right click on the folder. So now when you right click, you will see copy on your laptop. You right click. So my copy is this. I'll just copy, then I'll right click and I will paste. So when you right click after you copy, you will see paste. Then you paste at the empty. Let me delete it also. Let me delete it. When you right click, for example, you right click, you just copy. When you copy, if you want to paste, just paste at the, click on the empty space. You see, I'm at the empty, right click on this empty space. You paste it, then it will be like this. I'll right click and rename it. Then you right click, then you rename it. I'll delete this, then I'll rename it 3. Then it will be like this. Okay, I will put 3 also like this. So it will be 3. So I'll rename it like this. So this is it. And let me tell you one thing, you cannot name a folder with the same name. So now if I have folder 1 with another folder, you cannot save it with the same name with another folder, because I cannot save. Okay, for example, let me do something. If I copy this folder now and paste it, you see there is difference between this folder and this folder, which is this copy. We have this difference of this copy. So let me just rename it. If I rename it now with the same folder like this 3, if I press enter, I cannot save it. You see, this destination already contains a folder named folder 3-3. So I cannot save 2 folders or 2 files with the same name inside the same folder. I cannot do that. So I'll just click OK. It will come back. I'll delete it. So now I'm going to copy all this. So if we want to copy the folders, all of these folders, what you are going to do is click on it and hold your control. So now I click on the first one. I just click on it. I'll hold control key. Control key is that CTRL on your keyboard. That's control key. So you hold your control key, then you click the other one and you click the other one. That's, you click on them. If you want to copy them or cut them, because now we are going to cut, since we did the copy, just right click on it and you cut. On my side, I'm using Windows 11. This scissors is the cut, so I will cut. That means I cut it. You see the folder will looks gray like this as I cut them. Then I will double click here inside that folder 1. I will right click, then I will click paste. That means I paste the folder, all the folders inside this folder. When I come back now, I have only one folder. So this is how to do that. And I will show you another thing. If I want to copy this folder, I will copy them all I will just do this, copy them, and I will paste them. Now, if I paste, I will paste 3 folders. Now, let me click on it. You'll see 3 folders. I paste 3 folders. If I click on all of them and I copy them all, sorry, I copied them all. For example, I right click and copy them again. Now, if I paste them, that means I paste all the folders again. I can do that again. I paste them again. So now if I want to select all the folder, I don't need to start selecting them 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I don't need to do that. All you need to do is click one and hold Control Shift. The Shift, okay, let me tell you what Shift is. We didn't do keyboard, but please, if you know what Shift key is, that on your keyboard, look at your keyboard. If you see an arrow that look up, it's just an arrow, it looks up. It's always 2 Shift on a computer. There are 2 of them. So hold Control Shift and you click on the last file in the folder. It will highlight all the files for you and you can delete or you can recover. So let me just delete all the folders. Now I deleted them all. So now if I come back, there is nothing in the folder, and don't worry about that because we can retrieve all the folder. It will come back to where they are. So this is my folder, is empty. So I'm going back to this. Now this is the folder that we have. So I'm going to select all the files in the recycle bin. Like I told you, go to recycle bin. This is the recycle bin. Every laptop has recycle bin. So you click on this, all the files inside the recycle bin. Like I told you, hold your Control Shift, then you click and right click, then you click restore. Now I restore all the files. As you can see, if I come back to my empty folder, which is here, let me close the recycle bin. If I come back to my empty folder, all the files that I've deleted inside this folder are back. All the folders are back inside the folder. So this is the practical we are going to take for today, and I believe to learn something new, whatever. So you need to practice this. Don't worry about the, like I told you, it's a way of learning how to arrange files, how to rename files, how to copy, paste, and move files in a computer. So this is what we are going to discuss for today. And I think here exactly we are going to stop for this practical. So I don't think we have anything left for now. So if you have anything, you can ask, because we will move to question and answer. Or if you can take a break and come back, we can do that. So if you have your question, someone can just drop one single question. Maybe I'll answer it. The rest, when we come back after that 5-minute breaks, then we'll respond to other questions. So if someone has a question, you can drop your question based on what we discussed today and previous class, that is yesterday. I'll respond to the question, then we'll have a 5-minute break and we'll come back and finish the class. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. If you have any question, we are at the question and answer. I believe if you don't have any question, we'll call it a day. We are not resuming with the second link since maybe there is no question. Unless you have questions, if you don't, we'll call it a day and we draw the curtain here. Okay, is there any work that mouse can do and touchpad can't? No. No, seriously, there is nothing that mouse can do and touchpad cannot do. There is no, there is no. It's just the way we work. You know, I always want to work with mouse because I'm used with it. And believe me, when you are doing data analysis, if you don't know how to work with mouse, it will, be very difficult for you to scroll, to do this, to do that. So mouse is kind of a little bit faster when you are working. Believe me, it's faster, and that's why maybe it's favorite to most of the people. People want to work with the mouse, but nothing mouse can do that touchpad cannot do. Nothing. Yeah, solid state drive. That's the SDD. Yeah, that word SSDD stand for SSD, not SDD, please. Not SDD. I'm sorry, it's SSD. It's SSD, not SDD. But I gave you the meaning correctly, which is solid state drive. That's the SSD. And the HDD is hard disk drive. So I'm sorry for that. Those that hear it wrong, good. Hard disk drive is the HDD. Yes. Then we have SSD. Yes, not SDD, it's SSD. Okay, so I didn't see any question. Please, do you have a question? Are we resuming to answer your question, or we'll call it a day? Let me hear from you, since I can see a lot of people. If you don't have any question, we can call it a day, because I just reserved that 40 minutes, the other 40 minutes for question and answer. I have a computer Windows 8. How will I install it? I didn't get the question. You have a computer Windows 8. How will you install what? So I didn't get the question. Please, I think let's resume so that maybe some of you might have question. Let's resume after 5 minutes. Let's take a break, please. Everyone should rest. After 5 minutes, we come back. Let's do the question and answer and call it a day. If we don't have any question, 1 minute, we can close the class, but we'll resume after 5 minutes. Okay, so you are all welcome back. If you have any question, drop it in the chats. I'll read the chats, please, so that we can call it a day. I know we have other things to do. So if you have any question you ask, you drop your question. Let me read it out so that we respond to it. Yes, there is a way to hide and unhide a folder. We'll talk about that. We have that class later when we are creating accounts, user account, which I definitely it's going to be tomorrow. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the hide and unhide, how to hide and how to unhide folder. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Don't worry. What's the minimum size of RAM that a computer is supposed to have for it to work perfectly? Minimum, I told you, 1 gig RAM normally is, you can even have a computer with 500 MB RAM. I think I saw a computer with that RAM before. So, but you can see a computer with 1 gig RAM, but nowadays for your computer to work effectively, I think you need to have at least 4 gig RAM, at least 4. Yeah, then you move to 8 if you can afford. And this RAM that you are seeing is not even costly, it's not even expensive. If 4 gig RAM is 4,000, I'm not saying, I don't know the amount, so that somebody will not say it's not the amount. If, for example, 4 gig RAM is 4,000, 8 gig RAM will be around maybe 6,000 or 7. So it's not times 2 of the money. And if 8 gig RAM is 8,000, for example, 16 gig RAM will be like 10,000. That's what it is. And also that's how it is. So if you want to change RAM, it's not something, it's like it's just like you know how ATM card is. So like half of ATM card, that's how RAM is. Just a half of ATM card. The way ATM card is slim with that the way it is, that where you see it, but it will have I'm just describing it for you. But RAM is not something everyone can even open RAM and remove it from his computer and replace it. If you want, we if we are maybe doing it like this class is a physical class, I could have open a computer and show you where RAM is and how to remove the RAM and take it back. But RAM is not something that big, and everyone's supposed to know how to change his RAM and how to change his hard disks. I think everyone is supposed to know that. Okay, the SSD and HDD, yes, they have some differences. One, SSD is like the latest version of now permanent computer storage now that we are using. The ROM is what is like the latest version, while HDD is the oldest version. And all of them they have their own advantage and disadvantage, because seriously, SSD is faster than HDD. That's one thing about SSD is even faster. That's why most of the latest laptops that are coming out, they come with SSD, not HDD. But it's faster, it's very fast. It's very fast and it's more expensive. Of course, yeah, it's more expensive than HDD. So if HDD 200 gig is 10,000, SDD 200 gig will be around 30,000 or 25,000. Yeah, it will be around 30,000 or 25,000. So SDD is more this thing is more expensive than SDD and it's faster. But believe me, HDD lasts longer, seriously. HDD lasts longer than SSD. So you just need to do your own research and see if you can afford to maybe start using SSD, not HDD. But now I'm using SSD on this laptop that I'm doing this class with you. I'm using SSD. But other laptops, previous laptops that I did, I used HDD there, and I have a bunch of HDD and others. So you can just try to see what you can. Yeah. Please, is there a way to select multiple folders separately? Yes, I discussed about that. I show you to hold your control and just you click on them. I show you that. For example, let me share my screen back again to that folder that we created. Okay, maybe now you want to select one and you want to select the two. So you hold one and you hold two. I don't know, maybe that's what you mean to select it separately. We did that and I show you the practical on how to do that. So it's not something big, which I believe if you rewatch the video, you can see how to do that. Yeah, I show you how to select them at once, and I show you, if you can recall, maybe you missed it, but I show you how to select them one after the other, not at once. I taught you that also. Of course, now, okay, let me say this. Someone asked that means RAM can be changed without changing the whole computer. Even hard disk can be changed without changing the whole computer. Even hard disk. I have some computer that, of course, sometimes I can just change this hard disk and put this hard disk and work with the hard disk and remove it and put another hard disk, work with it and remove it. You can do that. So hard disks and RAM and so please, you need to understand all this so that you can. That's why I said this is a basics class, and I'm going to explain everything to you so that you will understand exactly how computer works. You can hold your hard disk. That way, if someone pour water on your computer, don't worry, just remove your hard disk. That's all. If someone break your computer, he break the screen or he smash the screen, the monitor, whatever, just open it. Your files are safe and intact. Just open your computer, remove your hard disk, put it in your pocket and walk back home. If you get another computer, you put that hard disk in the computer. You will just keep working whatever you are doing. You just keep doing your work. So hard disk is everything. And RAM, like I told you, RAM is just temporary memory. It's not saving anything. It only works when you open the files on the hard disk. So you can put your hard disk and your RAM inside your pocket. When you get computer, you put them. When you are done with the computer, you open it, you remove them, you put them back in your pocket and keep working. So that's how many people are doing. So please take note on this, please. Hard disk and RAM, yeah, you can remove. Hard disk is different, computer also is different. All these are components, are some of the parts that made up the computer. All this, that's the hardware parts of the computer. I've told you yesterday we have all different hardwares. All those hardwares are what made up of the computer also. Yeah, of course, if you have any question, please, you can ask. Even now there is SSHD, not only SSD, you even have SSHD, another another type of this hard disk that is just coming up. But again, all this is just like these people want to, but SSHD is kind of faster than SSD and HDD. It's like the father of the both of them. So, but I don't know if we have it in Nigeria, because I never see one in my life. I never. I just know that it's I know about the existence of it. Okay, so if you don't have any question, I think it's time for us to draw the curtain and call it a day. Okay, someone say he has a new Windows 8 computer. Please, you can say Windows 8 operating system. Don't say Windows 8. Or maybe Windows 8 computer. Let me say this. How do I install it? Like seriously, this question, if I'm to understand the question, maybe you are saying you have Windows 8 operating system. Is it a disk that you have? Please, you can respond, or let me just unmute you for you to talk. Yeah, Murtala Umar, you can talk, please. Go ahead and talk. Or if you prefer to type it, type it. But go ahead and explain. I didn't get your question. Please explain so that I can understand what you mean to give you a proper answer. I asked you to unmute yourself. Or if you prefer to type it, you can type also. But I didn't get the question entirely. I didn't.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
So I don't know how to explain this to you. I have an I buy a new computer, Windows 8. So I don't know how to install it. Hello.
Yeah, say it in Hausa. Say it in Hausa. Just say it in Hausa so that we can understand you better. Ka gai da Hausa kawai mu ji bayanin. Ni ban
Ina
fahimci question
da
in ba wallahi gaba ɗaya.
ina da kwamfuta ne, ina son ya zan yi in wannan ɗinta sabuwa ce, ya zan yi in fara operating da ita ba komi cikin ta empty ce. To ina kunna ta
Eh,
sai a nuna sai na installing ɗinta na ɗauko wasu application da za ringa amfani da ita ban san yadda zan
in ka kunna computer tana kunnuwa ta kawo ma desktop, tana nuno desktop.
yi. Tana nunuwa.
Okay, to kaga kana da operating system. That means
Yeah.
all you need is application software that you need. Wa'anda su ne supportive softwares da muka yi magana jiya. So, what you are going to do now is, don't worry, we'll hold a class on application software, where to get software, how to download them, how to install them. We'll talk about that. If all the softwares that in Microsoft Word ne, ko VLC player ne, duk wani abu da yake bukata da browser, duk abin da yake bukata, I'll show you where to get it, and inshallah we'll discuss about that.
Okay, thank you.
So don't
Thank
worry.
you.
Inshallah, we'll do that. You'll see how you can do it on your own. Since I don't know, I don't think we are in the same state, and I don't want to do it for you. So you will learn it on your own. So don't worry, take it easy. We'll discuss that. I think before the end of the week, you will even learn how to do that on your own. So that ka do software da ke so ka saka sai ka fara aiki da su. But I believe yanzu yau ka iya yadda ake creating folder.
Wannan na iya shi tun can
Yeah,
baya ma.
to alhamdulillah. So don't worry about installation of software. Take it easy. We'll get to that and we will do it.
Okay, thank you so much. Na gode.
It's okay. Thank you so much. So there is no any question. I think we can call it a day. I will put the videos, the two videos together. I think I will put the two videos together, then I'll share the link immediately. I uploaded it on YouTube so that some of you that miss something or they need to rewatch what we did today, you can rewatch it again. So thank you so much for your time. You can watch it again, and that's the reason why we are recording the class. I know I'm a little bit fast, but believe me, it's just for me to uh stop where we want it to, where I want to stop, so that way, because I'm recording the class, if you want, you can put it in slow motion and listen to whatever you want to listen. You can rewatch and learn everything. So don't worry about being fast and whatever. But I believe since the video is there forever for you, you can always go back and check whatever you miss and do it on your own. So thank you for your time and thank you for being here. See you tomorrow. Have a wonderful dream. Bye bye.